When the kids are counting sheep, when the kids go to sleep, dreams and
What are you doing? That's ridiculous. Stop it.
when the kids
Knock
go to
it.
sleep.
Stop.
What?
That was dumb.
That's
Don't
just the
do
mood of the
that.
song. I have to move to the mood of the song.
Yeah, I can feel it.
It's like, oh, precious.
Sweet dreams and
sweetness.
gumdrops. Our children are sleeping. It's so precious. I hurt my throat. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Shay.
High five.
We have a guest today. High fives.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's WTKGTS. When
From
the
Maker
kids
Studios.
go to sleep in Los Angeles,
Or go
California.
to school. They're at school right now.
They are at school, except for Baby Todd and Rock Todd. They're at the school of Cecily.
They're at the school of life.
They're at the school of Cecily. We were driving out of our house today, and Rock Tard and Baby Tard and Cecily were out on the front porch waving.
And he goes, bye, Dad.
And
Bye, Dad.
Yeah, Rock Tard's like, bye, Dad.
He's
Bye,
finally
Dad.
figured out that when we leave, we'll be back.
Yeah.
So now he's okay when
It's
we
like
leave.
in his schedule. He's like, okay, I get it. So it's like, you guys go, I hang out with this chick for a few hours, and you come back and everything's cool. Okay, see ya.
That's pretty much how
Bye.
it
Love
goes.
you, Daddy. Bye, bye, bye. You know?
You're crazy.
So that's what we do on this podcast.
Well, let's welcome our guest today. It's Amanda Russell. You can check her out on YouTube.
Is a professional athlete, former and still. I mean, you are still. I mean, you're a
Professional
trainer.
fitness expert.
Yeah,
and
that's what you
she just
say.
knows everything.
Give us some credentials. Give us some credentials. Tell us some shiz you've done in your life.
I used to be a competitive distance runner, and after a massive injury that ended my career, I went into the corporate world and felt like I lost. It was kind of boring and felt like I lost myself. And so I made it my mission to sort of come back to fitness. And I had so many physical limitations that I kind of experimented with everything across the board to figure out what really worked. And that's how I ended up getting into like fitness as a full-time career. And I want more than just being a personal trainer to try to reach people like you guys do, like reach people on a much bigger level. And, you know, online was the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. That's
Well,
so true.
you know, just what you just said right there reminded me of something somebody said. Work! My fingers are like so cold that I can't push
I'm
on
like,
the
what are you
buttons.
You're still
doing?
cold from yesterday.
It is. Like, I was, dude, my lips were blue.
I was wondering if
Alana looked at me. She goes, your lips are turning blue.
Shay's talking about he ran the marathon yesterday. And at the end of the marathon, it was freezing by the beach. And
it's so cold.
so cold.
It was the wind. I mean, the fact that whatever your time was, you could probably knock about half an hour easily off that because
Oh, because the wind.
Because of the
yeah.
wind.
Oh yeah, the wind chill factor in a race makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, it was hurricane level winds at certain points yesterday.
So here's what you said. This is what Amanda texted me yesterday, and you just said that you wanted to be able to get this message out and inspire more people. Amanda texted me this yesterday
At
before the
6:30
race.
in the morning.
She said it's a beginning. She goes, do it for yourself. It's a beginning of more than a race. It's a movement that will inspire people that anything is possible. Rock it. Woo! That was really
yeah.
motivational.
That
I was telling Colette that on the race I was looking at all the signs that people
Yeah.
were, and I wanted signs that said stuff like that, and most of them were just like, keep running,
Go, Shay.
go,
Or
and
go,
I'm like,
go,
It was
run,
like go,
run.
go, keep running, don't stop. I'm like, they started to annoy me. I'm
It's like, yeah, duh.
give me some gem.
When someone's
I wanted,
like run, run, run.
Yeah,
And you're like,
I
yes,
wanted-
that's what I'm doing. You want to do it too?
I'm like, that's all I can think about. Give me something to take my mind off of. I wanted to have some really profound quote that as I ran by, I would be like,
Get inside
so they
your
would
head.
take my
Yeah.
mind off the run, because when I do my training runs, it's I'll listen to my music and I'll start thinking about something, and 5 or 6 miles will go by and I'm not even thinking about it. And I'm like, holy crap, I just ran 6 miles. But that whole
That's the
race,
zone.
I was thinking about that race though. Every step I'm like, how am I doing? Am I doing this? Can I do it? I think I can do it. It's like, am I doing this right? Should I drink more? It was like, I thought about that race, every detail of it
Oh,
for
that's
the
so
full 3
You
hours.
never went into the zone this time.
I mean, well, there was a
Yeah.
couple during the songs when there's a couple times, and it was kind of distracting because I would get into a song and then we'd run by like a huge marching band and like cheerleaders, and so it's like I'm like I should like listen to this. I should like experience the race a little bit. So like I would be getting into this song like that Rihanna and Coldplay song. I was like, oh, well, I was like, yeah, I was like really feeling it, and I was totally in the zone. And then I like run by like all these half naked cheerleaders. I'm like,
What?
and then I'm like, I should like,
Where were
maybe
they?
they're saying.
Where
that.
was I during that?
I'll tell you what, some of the no offense, ugliest cheerleaders I've seen in my life were in West.
Weren't there guys?
They're in
dressed
West
up as
Hollywood.
cheerleaders?
And the one dude was like 6'9", 300 pounds. And I go run up. I'm like, and he was in full like cheerleader garb that fit his body, like for how big he was.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It fit him like a tight, like flattering, like at first I thought it was a girl. I was like, whoa, that chick is, it's a dude. and it was full makeup and hair and everything. And like right as I was running by, and I was like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, and I gave him 5, and he's like, boom. I'm like, ow. He's like this dude, but he like anyways, it was.
So you had
That's
entertainment
funny.
like the entire
Oh
way.
yeah, no, there was like a marching band, and there was this, when I went through Chinatown, I wish I had my camera because there was this guy on the corner. He was like on this little stadium seat setup, like imagine a big drum kit with a giant keyboard, a electric guitar, and on the ends of the electric guitar there's like 4 drumsticks that he would use to push on the keyboard. So he was like
What?
playing the guitar and like do 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 do, and then he had like this little hi-hat. He's like,
That's awesome.
and I'm like, look at that dude. And he had this like crazy like cowboy hat on, this probably like 75-year-old Asian dude, just like and I'm like, I should have got a. Anyways, so
All to keep you distracted
I
from
know,
thinking about the
right?
race, but you were thinking about how hard it was the
yeah,
entertainment.
but I'm like, he's making my run harder. That looks
Where were you?
complicated.
Where points
We
did you
were
see him?
okay. Well, we had a whole team mapped out to where there were different teams, and they were all set to different mile markers,
Yep.
so we could keep it all documented. We were filming for like 3-4 different things. So
Right.
I went to mile 11. I was with the whole family, Casey, Kaylee, and mom, and then we went
My mom
to.
was there.
That's nice. That's really
And we went to mile 11, and he was fast. Like, we were surprised at how fast he made it to mile 11. It was so exciting. Like, the whole thing was exciting. Like, Michael called us. He just passed mile 10. We're like, get ready. He's going to be here in a few minutes. And, you know, just the excitement of it was crazy. And then as soon as he passed mile 11, we rushed to the car to get to mile 17, and we barely made it
Yeah.
to see him pass mile 17.
No, that was mile 11 when you didn't see me.
No, it was mile 11 that we were there.
Oh,
and
right.
then we
right,
went
right,
to mile
right,
17.
Right. So they were like meeting me. They like saw me, and then they're like drove up farther into the race and saw me like a couple times. And then we had different teams of people because I didn't want to drink Gatorade. I wanted to drink coconut water instead.
You did.
So I had them. They all had coconut. I just had like these water bottles full of coconut water. So as I ran by, they just gave me these water bottles, and I liked the coconut water a lot better. But then I actually had some of the Gatorade, and the Gatorade, it was like a low sugar Gatorade, so it was pretty good. I ate and drank a ton through the race.
You did. I was gonna ask you what you.
Dude, I had apples, bananas.
You had apples in the race.
Pretzels, gummy bears, Jolly Ranchers. I had gum. I had like anything that I saw there. The only thing I didn't have was beer. There was this guy, and I'm like, I need some more water. And he's like, I got beer here. I was like, no, I shouldn't do that. And then, but yeah, I ate and drank a lot. There was times where I didn't drink because I was like, I feel full. Like I can't drink anymore.
Jesus, you
Yeah.
were full during the marathon.
Honestly, I like my belly was
weird?
I've never heard that before.
I seriously, I was like, I shouldn't drink because I was so nervous about hitting the wall. So like every chance I got, I was like, no.
I just ran a marathon and gained 10 pounds.
Yeah.
during the marathon.
So
know, it's
maybe
so
I
true.
should have like let my body dry out a little bit, and I'd have been more like aerodynamic and light. But yeah, I definitely.
How'd your body? Did you have first time marathon? Do you have any like knee problems? Did you feel
No,
any
that's what I
injury?
was so like, because I have an
incredible.
ankle that was kind of like I was injured for like a month, and I had this knee was bothering me during training, but not my ankle, not anything. The whole race. The only thing that hurt me at all during her race was like toward like mile 17 is my feet, like the bottom of my feet. I was like, oh, it's like as I was
That's
picking
lucky,
my
though.
feet.
Yeah, that's really lucky.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was.
You have really good.
I
alignment.
hope
Joints.
So. Yeah,
Strong
I
joints,
massage
good
myself a
alignment.
lot. Yeah, I've been taking some pills, and I've been eating
get a
really
massage.
healthy. I've been getting massages, and
They say
mommy tard. I got a
you're
I
the
call
Giving him
massage
like
therapist?
I got
massage.
an MM mommy tard massage. Let's go to the
Just
slate.
yesterday, I felt
Mommy
so
tard
bad.
massage.
He was like, "Oh, my legs."
Are you
Let
gonna
me
do the
help
next
you.
one now with them?
I don't know. We're talking about it. I mean,
You
it was
should start
definitely
with-
motivating yesterday, but every time I start that run, it's like, oh, don't want to do that.
You know, you could start with especially a lot of the race. They're called race weekends now versus marathon weekends,
Mm-hmm.
except in like New York and LA.
Because they do
Um,
half. And then
They do have
full.
5Ks, 10Ks. They'll do two different. Like the Toronto one has a 5K, 10K.
She's
two-
gonna do one. She wants.
I can
to.
I can see it in there. I think she's.
The
Yeah, I
problem with
just feel like
her
it's a
is
I
she's-
mean, it is a huge process because I watched you train and it takes a lot
Yeah.
of time. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's hard to find time with 4 kids. And
we're gonna get a
working.
treadmill. We decided to help.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
Just,
You can
like
just
at
do it.
home when we can always, and we'll take turns babysitting. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do one. I was talking to my mom today. Because I have, a brother, sister, and another brother, and we were saying it'd be great if me and Colette and my 2 brothers and sister could all do one together. So I'm gonna get them all to start training. And we're gonna all do one
cool.
together.
It's such an emotional experience. Isn't
It
it?
was.
Yeah.
It
So
was
what?
great.
So tell us more about like your racing experiences. Were
My-
you really
M-
into it from the beginning, or
No, it's funny when you said it's time consuming. Someone asked me yesterday in an interview about how to find balance in your life
yeah?
with fitness, like when you're trying to train for something and like you've got a full-time job and you've got kids and like how do you make it a balance? And they're like, well, how did you train all that time? And I was like, in my professional life, when I was doing this full-time, there was no balance. Like,
Yeah.
you're literally like, if you're gonna do it at that level, you become married to it. And I see it a lot. Like I didn't date. I didn't have much of a social life. I look back and I'm like, I don't know if it was really worth it. I mean, I wouldn't change it, but I would never wish it upon my daughter.
Right.
Wow.
But-
yeah. Because that's why it's like it's addicting.
It's
'Cause I feel like I
addicting.
want to do another one, and then in my mind I'm like I'm gonna do the Ironman next. But to do an Ironman, it is like you have to train all day, every
do.
day
The
for a
Ironman,
year. Or
It's
whatever.
true. And, I see, and I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for this, but I used to do the triathlon training as well. And a lot of these people that get really into it, it's such an addiction that I've seen marriages ruined over it.
Really?
People coming out of their jobs.
We better not get
Don't do the
addicted to
triathlons.
exercise.
But not that it's not a great chat. I mean, it's like what's next? Marathon is one thing, but getting obsessively.
Yeah, it's
Into
part of finding balance.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll
you
tell
do
you what,
have to find some type of balance if you're going to do it, or it will take over.
that's just
And you
life-
need a support. Like clearly, you've got a great support system. That's half the battle. Is like having that other person there that as a single, I can't imagine as a single parent with not a lot of like financial resources. How do you do that?
Right.
Like it's
You
just
couldn't.
you couldn't.
Yeah.
So you have to be in the right position.
So what would you
Right.
train like when you were in the heat of your training? Like what was your training days? Explain a day to me. Like you wake up.
Yeah, just like that.
Dreams last night. Okay, let's go train for a triathlon. What did you do?
It seemed a little bit when you told me your previous life, the wake up at noon. So
Right.
that
Yeah,
cracked
yeah.
me up. That was awesome. No, I would get up at about 5:45. Practice at 6 to about 9:30, 10 o'clock. For most of it, I was in school full time. So I would go to school and then we would practice again around 4 p.m. And then, you'd be on a bus or
Where was
plane.
this? Where were you? What school?
I was down in Virginia at University of Richmond.
Oh, cool.
And then after that, I was in New York with a coach from New Zealand. And so you pretty much, your weekends are spent traveling on buses and in airports and in fields and
Yeah.
tracks and like
Yeah.
no matter the weather.
Right.
And I mean, there's a few times when I felt like I had hit rock bottom in my life, being in like the middle of Indiana and like
What
a
am
In your
I
few-
track
doing
suit.
here?
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's like, it's a Friday night and everybody's like out partying and like, cause I'm young and
Yeah.
there I am like, with like sweats on and freezing and wet
Right.
and the pressure was probably the worst of it.
To perform well, yeah.
Yeah,
and
the
that's
pressure
it's
to
hard
perform.
because that's what I was saying. Like those signs, like it's like run. It's like you want to punch them. It's like shut up. I am running. This is really really hard.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what I tried to get to you yesterday was that there is such an element to racing and to running that it's so in your head. And I mean, that was part of what we did in terms of education is that we learned how to train our minds
Right.
to do it.
Yeah, that's where
And
it all is. I feel
Yes.
like.
Yeah,
There's
you have
so
to get
much.
inside your head.
You
and,
do.
Yeah.
and you have to, one person saying the right thing to you before race, one way or the other makes it'll
Right.
stay in your head and make such a
Yeah.
difference.
That's why I was looking for like your text was really good in that when I got that morning I'm like, yeah, But I think on my next marathon, it's going to be like that. I feel like I'm going to be able to get into the zone and just be like, yes. But this marathon, I was so nervous that I wouldn't
first one.
complete it. Because like
Yes.
I think the pressure that was on me is like, I had told, how many thousands of
Right.
people.
I'm running a marathon.
Yeah, as I'm
Oh my
running.
God, the pressure. Yeah.
As I'm running, I'm thinking, oh, look at all these people watching out here, watch the marathon. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, there's like 100,000 people online watching me do this.
Yeah.
I better be able to freaking do it. I said I was going to do it. You know what I mean? So it was like, I could only think about like, I got to get this done. And I was going to say at like mile 15, that's kind of when I hit my wall where I was like, at mile 16 or wherever, where I was like, I have to run another 10 miles. That's why I was like kicking myself. I'm like, I'm such an idiot. I'm like, I'm going to do it in 3.5 hours. I'm going to do an 8-minute pace. Like, why did I say that? Like, what if I can't even finish it? Because I was like so mad at myself at that point. But then it's like, I just kept going. I had to sit down a couple times. So I felt like I had to pee. So I saw a porta potty. This was at like mile 16 or 17 when I was like really hurting. And I got it. I went in the porta potty and I like went to pee. I got my pee tool out to pee. And it wasn't working.
Very graphic. Close your ears, everyone.
Now it's time to talk into Mama Todd's microphone.
Oh, thank
Sorry.
you. Right after the pee
This is the
episode.
segment that we do on the show. Back to my microphone. So then I was like, oh, I don't have to pee. So then I just looked I was just standing in the porta potty like, oh my gosh, I'm so dead. And so then I put the lid down on the porta potty and I sat up like on the lid like this and like stretched my back and my arms. It felt so good. It was like that was the first time I like sat down in 17 miles, And I was like,
You didn't want to
like
get up.
this.
Yeah.
Shay
then-
gets lost in the porta potty.
Honestly, because I was like, I'm gonna hide in here. Like I don't want to leave. I just sat. I'm like, I just want to stay in here forever. It feels so comfortable in this porta potty.
Probably smelled really
it was.
nice
I was
too.
like, I don't
Yeah,
care.
right.
This is the best place in the world. I will live in here if you'll let me. So then I was like, I started feeling really anxious. But so then I was like grabbing my legs because my legs started to cramp up. That's what I was scared of. I felt like I'd
yeah,
lost
it
my
doesn't
legs.
stop.
It wasn't like I was winded or anything. It was like my legs were like
Cramping.
I felt like they can't, like there's no muscle left or something,
Salt,
you know?
like a salt. A lot of times, if there's salt deficiencies or anything, you actually see people where they're stumbling and they can't.
Yeah,
Did you
towards
see
the end, there was a guy who was like, his legs were all freaking out. And
Yeah.
This guy had to help him, and I was like, oh, I'm glad.
So how do you stop that from happening?
So then I was sitting there in the porta potty, I just
It's tough.
squeezing my legs, and then I just kept going. I stretched them really, really
It
good.
sounds like you had enough in your system that you were fine.
If I wouldn't have eaten as much as I did, I think I wouldn't have been able to make it through. But
Or drink the coconut water because the coconut
coconut
water has
waters,
potassium.
I had the potassium for cramps and stuff like that, and I was chugging that coconut water.
That's probably one of the best things that you could be drinking during those, and like a lot of the gels, the chia seeds, like stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
very nutrient dense,
Yeah.
and just like
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right into
chia
your-
seeds. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we need to get some of those. So that it really did, and what's so funny is to think that back in the day they used to think that you weren't supposed to eat or drink. You're not supposed to do any of that during a marathon. You're supposed to just
I know.
run the whole marathon without, because they thought you'd get cramps if you drank water while you're
so
running.
weird. How
But
would
I
you
was
even
like,
do
I was
that?
like, imagine Homer Simpson like running like cheeseburger,
Donuts, cheeseburgers.
I can't. I saw. I mean, I worked most of the day. That's why I couldn't be there. I wish I could have, but at the very end, like I'm staying in Santa Monica, and that's where the race ended. And I mean, most of the people had already like gone, but there's walkers and stuff. But I saw people in those not the shoes, like those sock shoes.
Oh yeah, like the barefoot shoes.
Yeah, barefoot run. I just don't understand it.
There were a couple people running absolutely barefoot.
Totally barefoot. I saw 3 or 4 people run the entire marathon totally barefoot.
Like honestly,
This
we
chick-
are not cavemen anymore.
This chick at mile 12, I came up, I'm like, oh, she's doing it barefoot. Her feet were so dirty too. Like
I
was
know.
like,
Yeah.
I was behind her and I could see
What
her
if there's
feet
like
coming
glass?
up.
Time for a pedicure.
If you're somebody that's running a marathon with your bare feet, you probably have like, think of the
So many
calluses. Her
calluses.
calluses.
Oh, yeah.
She could
You would
probably step
have
on
to.
glass. And
I
it
just
wouldn't
can't
cut
imagine
her.
the impact to the body. I mean, like it's funny because
They say it's better for you
No,
though,
they-
because it's like you land softer.
No, in the back in the day, it makes sense because when we were hunters and gatherers, like we were in the
Running on
woods,
dirt.
Be
it was
quiet.
dirt, so it was like soft impact. it wasn't meant for pavement running,
Right,
where it's
right.
just like joints crushing the pavement.
Yeah.
Wash it. I'm like,
that's what I
God.
think. I'm like, how do your feet not
Gotta
kill?
break.
I
Your
had
hips
nice
bounding.
socks and nice shoes on, and the bottoms of my feet were killed.
Does this make everyone want to run a marathon?
yeah, it's makes sense.
So this might be difficult to talk about, Amanda.
Uh-oh.
I know. I'm like,
What was
whoa.
your What was your
What is he
injury?
gonna say?
Speaking of like all this crazy stuff.
yeah.
So you were running. How
Yeah, I fractured my femur, which is for anybody that doesn't
wow.
know what a femur is, it's like the biggest bone
in your body?
Yeah, and it runs up and it attaches at your hip. So I cracked it right at the hip. So
Oh no! How
yeah,
did you do it?
it's just almost impossible. It's very rare, but it was a stress fracture that cracked. Because like I said, at that point it becomes like a business, and
Yeah.
I was very brainwashed is probably a strong word, but that's kind of how I felt it was. Very brainwashed by your coaches and everything that's going on around you and the pressure that they were like, steroid injections and painkillers and it's fine. And, it's probably musculatory. It's so at that point, your mind, it's
They're just
incredible how
pushing
strong you're like, it's in your head. It's 95% in your head, and we had a really important race coming up and I was at that point on crutches if I wasn't on medication by day. And at that point, when I wasn't a big complaint. I kind of just sucked everything up.
Wow.
And I was like, listen, I think there's something really wrong. And, I demanded to see a doctor. The doctor, obviously hired by the team, is like 95% sure this is musculatory. It's in your head. It's going to kill. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's going to kill at the end of the race, but you'll be fine in the end. And trust me,
Oh,
it was not fine.
Oh, that
Yeah.
hurts
Oh
my
my
legs
God.
just thinking
yeah,
about
there's
it.
like pain
That's
in my
awful.
fingernails when
Because of it.
I actually thought that I was paralyzed in a certain way when I
Yeah.
could because it affected. I ended up
So
herniated
it happened in
two
a
discs my back.
race.
Yeah,
So a stress
'cause
fracture,
it was
like
a stress
over time.
a stress fracture, is just an overuse
Yeah.
injury, but it actually cracked. Into it fractured
So did-
more than further
so-
than just like the small hairline
Yeah.
So were you like during the race and then all of a sudden it went and you like went down? Like, is that how it happened?
It was like progressively, like all of a sudden, I was on a lot of medication, but I
Right.
couldn't feel a lot in my body. But all of a, you're limping more and more to the point where all of a sudden you just can't
And it just
stand
Wow.
up anymore. And then
Yeah.
once that adrenaline wears off and you don't stand up, it's like you can't get back up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And from there, then it was like they said I'd never run again and that I would always walk with a limp or need help.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was a long road back. Like that's how I got into the swimming, because I had to learn. Like I learned to walk again in the water, with a ridiculous aqua belt, and I progressed to running in the water, which I highly recommend. Honestly, you will run the fastest marathon of your life if you can get in some water running.
Really?
Mhm.
That's cool.
Very hard. It's very boring.
Who's got a swimming pool?
Yeah,
I'm
like
coming
those,
over.
Those pools that like flow so that you
Yeah.
can just keep running.
Can
Is it
you
that?
get me one of
Yes,
those?
yes.
That's so cool.
You guys could put one in your
Give me one
backyard.
for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's
Honey, it's a pool.
so you can run more.
Yeah, run in the water now.
Now, do
You
you
run on land, now you run on water. Get in the pool, boy. I'd be a pool boy. What? So
no.
back to your stress
He's
factor.
still going.
You guys are so funny.
Right, we gotta throw in some comedy
Shay, it's all
punch.
him.
Pizzazz. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm making your show too serious. Way
No.
too serious.
Definitely not.
We have not talked about stress fractures. I can't say that word. Stress fractures.
Well, now you're in the zone where you're at risk, right?
You make
Yeah.
me sound
After-
I never want to run again after
No,
listening
So
to
what
this
would you?
podcast.
That's
what
what
would you advise?
Post marathon, this is every beginner's first time. You're actually at most risk for injury after your marathon, because you kind of go from it's almost like a post marathon depression sometimes,
Really?
because you get you actually said something on Friday that kind of triggered my thought process on this, but. You get into a zone where you have this goal and you're training and you're
Right.
getting into it, and then there's like the build up, and then you run it, and then it's over, and you kind of you want to just keep what
Like, what do I do
Yeah.
now?
yeah, and then you end up trying to run again too fast, too soon.
Yeah.
You need to give your body a good 7-8 days. That I'm not saying don't exercise. I actually encourage you should bike, swim,
That's what I was
Right.
thinking. I'm gonna go for a bike ride tomorrow.
Just do
I'm not
something
gonna
else
really
rather
Yeah.
than run.
do anything today. I'm just gonna rest.
yeah. The
more
next
today.
day, your body
I'm
needs
walking,
to recover.
I did some walking and but
That's
yeah,
great.
tomorrow I'm gonna go on a bike ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's when you.
But I
you're
ate last night, dude. I put the calories.
Yeah, what did you eat? What
away.
did you eat?
So, well, we went to out to dinner at this place called the Warehouse that we like to go, and
Where's
I got
that?
it's
It's
in Marina
It's
Del
in
Rey.
Marina Del Rey,
It's
and
like
it's
right in
actually
the
the restaurant that they filmed
Meet the Fockers
at.
and
Oh,
yeah, it's really
so-
cool. Anyways,
One of our favorite
I got
places.
we got a lot of
We did get a lot of. We got calamari, artichokes.
yeah, calamari,
got the
artichokes,
mahi-mahi.
bread. I got the it was so good. It was like a peanut butter glazed breaded mahi mahi
That's
with
so
mashed
good.
potatoes and a Caesar salad, and I ate it all. And then I ate baby tarts, half a baby tarts mac and cheese. I had some of my mom's French fries. I had some of Kaylee's
funny
sweet
thing
potato.
was, Casey and we had run to the finish line, and so I
So
can see
you
that
felt
both of
like-
us were like, we should just get a salad. Like we just felt that motivation.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I could tell
Colette-
Casey was totally in that zone. Like, I'm not gonna have a roll.
That's
I'm just
what-
gonna have soup and
yeah.
salad. You know,
Only he's allowed to eat because only he exercised.
I know exactly. He can.
They both
he can
ordered
put it down.
salad. I'm like, knock it off. And then we went home, and I made me this huge protein shake that was like gigantic, and it was probably almost 800 calories, I bet. And then I ate the rest of Baby Tart's mac and cheese that was in a leftover box, some chicken fingers, and what else? And then I had like a half a package of graham crackers and a whole glass of almond milk.
Wow.
Put it
But you know what?
down.
I feel great this morning. I feel like I put enough like protein and calories and all that because my watch on my Nike watch said I burned 2,966 calories, so about 3,000 calories. And
That's
I
crazy.
feel
That's
like-
just
yeah.
during the race. Too.
Yeah, because then
Yeah,
your
the
body.
the post burn is.
I felt that
huge.
like the whole night. I felt like I couldn't sleep. Like
So like your
Yeah.
metabolism's already up, and it's just
yeah.
You'll be able to sleep better
taking
now.
the
The night
calories
after,
away.
it's like a crapshoot. Like it's so hard to sleep the night after all the adrenaline and the,
Uh-huh.
and your body is just wired and you're wired and you're exhausted, but you can't sleep. It's like a weird.
See, I wonder if I'll hit a
Yeah.
wall in like a day from now or something where I'll just be like, oh, because I do. I feel like
Yeah,
I got up
move.
this morning at like 7 and I was like, I feel good. I feel good. Let's
Told you
some
12 miles.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to go running
Yeah, don't
today,
do that.
but
Yeah, your
For
body's
sure.
not sore.
I mean, my legs are definitely like when I when I
He's
get up from
limping.
now, I'll be definitely like, ugh. And I can tell that it's the kind of sore where I will still feel the effects in like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
probably.
Get a stretch.
But that's why I'm gonna stretch a lot.
Massage and stretch.
Get my
Shay.
maybe a
Massage
little
and
bit.
stretch,
What
Kate.
about a sauna? Is that good to sit in a sauna?
I would say an ice bath the
Ice,
next day
ugh.
after, and then warm baths with Epsom salt.
Epsom salt.
Buy the Epsom salts at your. They probably have it at Rainbow. Any CVS will have some. Get it at CVS, it's really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Big tub and pour like half the carton into a bath, and it just sucks all the toxins and all the like lactic acid gets
Really?
out of
Oh,
your body.
cool.
Yeah,
Epsom
I didn't know
salt.
that.
Epsom EPSOM. I've got a million
Interesting.
and one tips like this.
Give me some more. I want
Any-
another tip.
Anything you need.
Give me
to-
2 tips and 1 trick.
You want a good smoothie recipe?
Yeah. I make a pretty darn good smoothie. I
do
made a
you?
really good one this morning. We have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
You gotta wrap it up, Jerry Bear. We're gonna wrap it up, Jerry Bear. 3 minutes.
I don't know how to smoothly transition sometimes. I'm like, hey guys, I
don't-
think I'm
Yeah,
And that's it.
And okay, thanks everybody.
So let's talk
You're
about
out.
Amanda as on YouTube.com.
Yes,
You'll know we
she's
like the
amazing. She
YouTube.
does a lot of. I've done a couple workout videos with
I
her,
love working out with you.
and I've watched a lot of videos. I'm like, oh look, a workout on the beach. I'm gonna do that one. Anyways, what I love about the workout videos that she does is they're usually very quick, and you can get a really good workout in a very short amount of time.
And
So-
no equipment.
Yeah, no
That's
equipment.
no equipment.
I
Just
did.
your body.
I did a great one with her on Thanksgiving
That's
when it was like the
right.
Thanksgiving workout, and it was with no weights. It was just like if you're just traveling for Thanksgiving, this is a great workout, and we did a good workout, and
You guys
could
did awesome.
feel it,
Yeah.
and it was good. So
That
check
was
her
the
channel
day
out.
he made the commitment to do the marathon.
Oh
That is.
I will
yeah.
never forget that.
No way.
That's why I can't believe it.
I said I'm gonna run a marathon.
yeah. Yeah, and I was like,
did it.
okay. And then he made it happen.
Incredible.
So, what's your Twitter? Amanda Russell on Twitter.
No, it's AR Fit on Twitter, AR Fit, and then on Facebook it's Amanda Russell Workouts. You can just go to Amanda Russell on YouTube and
And link. to all
Check
the-
out all her links right here on the annotations.
all the above, all the social.
So if there's anything you would like to say to all these people, what would it be?
You're gonna hate me in editing.
That's a very.
I know, that's a pretty
Let Shay
big-
and Colette inspire you to run a marathon. If anybody out there that's running, that's getting into running, and this is, you guys are the best inspiration to watch.
I didn't
you
do it, but he did it.
To prove that anybody anybody can do it. Really, that you once you can set your mind to something of that aptitude, that capacity, you know that you're capable of doing anything.
Honestly, when I was walking back yesterday, by the way, I almost felt like I was going to die yesterday after the race. Because I finished, I went through the finish line and I was like, that's it? I did it? Like I kept jogging a little bit like through and I'm like, did I do it? Is it over?
He's like, I could keep going.
And I was like,
give me another 10 miles.
I was like, I could keep going down like all the way to the pier. I thought I had to go to the pier because it wasn't like quite to the pier.
Oh, right.
And so,
right.
but I'm like, I realized like the race was over. Like I came into the zone where everybody had like the blankets, all those like metal shimmering blankets were everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I did it. And I was like, I'm going to lay down. And I'm like, because my legs were like so cramped and I couldn't find a position where it would release. So I laid face first on the asphalt with my like arms to my side. And these people are like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just need to lay here for a second. One guy was like, I'm just looking for my contact, bro. Anyways, so yeah, I laid like face first with that little space blanket on me. And then I started like freezing because I was soaking wet.
Yeah.
Sweat. Oh, that's the worst. The post. Oh, I hate that feeling.
And that wind off the ocean.
You can't get warm.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like your bones are
It's
just
a bone
chilly.
cold that nothing is going to shake it until you get into a hot bath.
I'd gotten a hot tub, and then you're not supposed to do that. They tell you, like, you're supposed to take an ice bath. I'm like, screw you. Right, I'm going to take an ice bath. Okay, I took one. Anyways, so it was
Just
a great
stick your legs in the ocean.
Yeah.
Freeze them.
I did that last night. I went to Cassim's house and we sat in the hot tub, but then I put my legs in the pool and it felt good actually. I was like, oh, because you could just tell
it just helps it like brings out all the inflammation.
Cool. All right, well,
Wow.
Proud
thanks.
of you. Thank you.
We'll run a marathon, guys.
For coming on the show, so we should go on a run, Amanda. We should go on a run. And
I
do
would
a video.
love to do a run.
We'll
A run video.
Check out Amanda's channel.
With some running
go
tips and training
subscribe,
tips. That would be good.
And we'll do it. Me and Amanda will do a running tip video. We'll go out and we'll go on a run and we'll film like
When you're running, you should try to lean forward and put your elbows close to the side of your body and keep your head up with good posture.
And they will both use that voice the whole time.
so you can check that out.
Okay,
coming soon.
guys.
That's a commitment.
Thank you
a
guys
collab
so much for
commitment.
having me.
Thanks to Amanda. Play us out, Rolf.
Yay! From Maker Studios in Los
When the
Angeles,
kids go to
California.
sleep,
When the kids
dreams
go
in
to
the
sleep.
lab.
Check
We
her
talk
out,
about
Amanda
marathons
Russell.
when the kids go to
When the
sleep.
kids go to sleep.
Romantic.
I know, really romantic.
I love you, baby. I didn't do enough for your microphone.
Thank you
All right,
so
right.
much.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching that podcast with Amanda Russell. Guess what's coming up on the next week's podcast? We got Glow Sale! Glow Sale! But we forgot. Now, listen, we got yelled at because they put two things up
did.
on this whiteboard that we forgot to mention in that podcast. And if we don't mention them, we will be fired from this podcast. So listen, there's first of all items of business. There's a schedule change in the podcast. They will be uploaded Wednesday and Friday. Our producers felt that it was
Obviously.
urgent that we let you know. Are you mocking me in the background?
I love it. It's making me laugh so much.
Also, Playlist Live. You're going to Playlist Live,
Yay!
right?
It's gonna be
We will
so
party
fun.
at Playlist Live in Orlando, where you're from, right?
O-town.
O-town. Ooh, ooh. I don't know what that was. But so listen, there's only like 30 tickets left. I don't even know by like the time you see this if there will be any tickets left. Maybe you'll just have to bum rush the
knows?
hotel and just
Yeah.
like
I'll
come
be
running.
scalping them right outside.
Just be like, close down, and they'll let you in.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to playlistlive.com and you can put in code SHAY and get $5 off if there's any tickets left, go to the website, playlistlive.com. And if you can't get them this year, you can come next year. It's going to be awesome.
And we'll see you there.
Okay, so
gonna be
thanks
fun.
for watching.
Bye.
Check out next week. She'll be on. Or Friday.
Not
whatever
next
it
week,
is.
Friday.
What is? I don't know.
New
Well, it's just-
schedule,
okay,
Wednesday,
just-
Friday.
You'll figure it out. You'll see
I
it.
know.
Okay, love you.
He's working on it. Ah!